The Most High hate white people.
You hate the white people because their father acts so idiots.
Yeah.
That's why I gotta repeat myself over and over.
Because they tied him up. First they beat him until he was dead, almost lifeless. Then they tied him up, strung him up on there, and then poured gasoline and set his ass on fire. And they took pictures and postcards and sent that to their parents.
You said you hate so-called white men, right?
Yes. A lot of times I always had to repeat myself. You know what I'm saying? I've been in jail. And that was really the main reason why I really hate them.
Assholes, man. Go ahead.
They ask me a question, or I'm trying to.
Yeah, just when they're trying to interrogate you and shit. They ask you the same question like 5 times. Like, nigga, I just told you. Yeah, like I just told you.
I did not say that.
Yeah, like nigga, you trying to put words in my mouth. That's what they did to Dave Chappelle. That's why he said he fucking left. But they was talking about, you feel like they was basically trying to say he was crazy. Like, yo, what's wrong with you? You're acting different. He like, ain't shit wrong with me. What the fuck you keep saying that for? Like trying to make him think he's going crazy. Like, damn, am I really going crazy? Because they were trying to give him that 50 mil. And with that 50 mil comes getting the dick and gas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He ain't for that.
Oh yeah, I got a movie like that, all that Illuminati together. Will Smith. I got the gay exposed Will Smith. They had a thing which was mad sad. They had Bow Wow had got raped. No, the dude from
Raz B
got raped by him and Bow Wow.
Yeah.
But whatchamacallit was sitting in the bed sucking his thumb, he said.
Yeah, I seen him.
I was like, what? And they was like, Raz was like, I kept telling him to stick out my ass, and he was like, no, you're gonna take this. I'm like,
Yeah, Raz B exposed.
Thank God I ain't know,
He said that shit, and he said that shit openly. He said that shit. Everybody admitted it, but Marley.
Yep.
Bow Wow. And Lil Wayne, the fact is they stay in there and keep getting money.
I'm right on. Right there. I'm sorry, that's nasty. It's nasty. True. You want to be nasty? I'll be nasty.
The Most High hate, all right? Because you told him not to hate the so-called white man, but the Most High hate the so-called white man as well. Go ahead with it.
Romans 9:11, it says, "For the children being not yet born, neither have done any evil or good, that the purpose of the Most High according to election might stand, not of works, but of him that calleth. It was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger."
Now the elder shall serve the younger. Esau was our older twin brother. Jacob and Esau, they fraternal twins. Esau was the so-called white man. Jacob, he made up the 12 nation of Israel, and Esau made up the nation of Edom, which is the so-called white man. Because they're really not white, they're really red. Edom means red. Because they're really red.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody really white. You know what I'm saying? White is, his shoe.
This
Ain't
ain't
nobody
white.
that color.
That nigga ain't like this.
Ain't nobody
White, we not
red.
black, we brown.
Exactly.
We brown. We different shades of brown and different shades of red. You know what I'm saying?
Rednecks.
Yeah, rednecks.
Some of us got reddish brown, and he got reddish brown.
Yeah.
And that goes back down to our lines that our bloods got mixed in with all the other tribes.
Yeah, they got them our people.
Yeah, those are people. They was about to let them take their hand. They made the white people equal them. Let's take this.
Verse 13, it says, "As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated."
As it is written, Jacob have I loved, which is the 12 nation of Israel. Esau have I hated. So the Most High hate the so-called Edomites.
So it's okay for him to hate the white people.
So I want to know something. Talk about Christianity. So what did you think of, what was there that came to our house? People that came to our house. Jehovah's Witnesses.
Those Jehovah's Witnesses. That's how we know.
You know what?
They don't have no true scripture. They always want to bring up their pamphlets. They don't want to go into scriptures. They want to give you a pamphlet. Now, off of this pamphlet, we can teach you. But if you don't take their pamphlet, then there's really nothing for us to teach you. Because they don't go in the word, because the word's going to cut
They
it.
wanted me to go to their church, and I was
Because
just like,
the scripture says,
really
do not go house to house. Don't the Jehovah's Witnesses go house to house? The scripture says, do not go house to house. So they already going off. The scripture says that you're not supposed to profane the Most High's name. They go under what? Jehovah. That's not the real Most High's name.
Anybody should be able to just pick up a Bible and read it.
Exactly. You should be, especially if you're Israel. Now, if you're other than a nation, you're gonna have problems. But if you're of Israel, it should start coming to you if you're part of the election in 1/3. 1/3 is in the middle. The election is men, and that's only 144,000. That's what they call the rapture. That's 12,000 out of each 12 tribes. Thus says the Bible. So what they promote over there in Jehovah's Witness and what they promote in Christianity is false. They say all you have to do is accept him and you're going to be taken up in the rapture, which is bullshit. If you're not of the tribes of Israel, you're not getting taken. Because he's only taking the tribes of Israel. The rest of the 1/3 is still going to be here on earth, but they will be down in the wilderness, and the Most High is going to have a covering over them, where no wild beast is going to attack them, and no other man can attack them.
This is Revelation chapter 7 verse 2.
You can get it out of surgery.
And this is Revelation chapter 7 verse 2. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having a seal of the living God. And he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels, to whom I saw given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our God in their foreheads. And I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel.
So who's only going to get sealed?
And what they say
Everybody
right,
get sealed?
what's that say right there? What do you like, when you say LIT, it means like literally. Literally sons. So we're saying that we're the sons of the Most High, literally.
And we're literally going to feel a seal upon our heads. Literally. But only if you're an Israelite and you come into the knowledge of the truth. And he's only going to seal up the men. The women are not going to receive a seal, but as long as they're under that man in spirit and in truth, they have to come also.
And you pregnant, I seen the brother in your stomach and stuff. Yeah, and that's kind of, my wife pregnant too, but the Most High said it's not a good thing for to be pregnant during the time that we probably about to get into. He said that's a bad, he said pray not to be pregnant.
That's cool. That's instruction. That just means it's gonna be not how it used to be. It's gonna be a little bit harder, and then it's gonna intensify even harder. But that's when the Most High is gonna show himself.
Because it's another
Because
time.
Hey, me and my child gotta starve together. Y'all gotta starve without the chicks.
That's what
I'd
I'm
rather
saying.
die and go to heaven and be here. So you gotta go and
He
you
got
go.
to take.
You gotta do it.
The only way for you and your baby to make it is through him. So he got to come out here and do his work right here.
You take everything else but your faith.
Yep.
And that's another trial, because when that market of peace comes, you got a baby, you gotta feed the baby, you gotta eat breastfeed it. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be either you get
Now,
they gonna no everything gonna they gonna
everything's gonna be locked down. Everything's gonna be locked and key.
Everything gonna be unlocked.
That's why the Most High said we're gonna be in the wilderness. And if people are gonna be like, fine, go in the wilderness, you're gonna fucking die, you don't have no training.
Listen,
We're not people
I
that
am
go
from
from
the
the
fucking
wilderness.
hood. I can go without some water.
You know the Plan 98? You know the Plan 98?
I can go without
That's
food.
basically us.
I lived off of ramen noodles for 3 weeks.
Hey, everybody that's in
I'll be
captivity
okay.
is damn near white. You know what I mean? That's basically we the apes. And
Yeah,
we
because
got
what they
them-
call us
and-
anyway,
yeah,
monkeys, right?
But we're not.
We're not.
We're not monkeys, we're
That's
not.
called white man more than
Because if we were, I would be whooping some hell of an ass.
I don't know what that is.
You know?
So they call us, they make, and another thing about the Marvel comics and in people having mutant powers and shit like that, that goes back down to the scriptures where the Most High is going to give us back our spiritual power. I know a lot of Israelites used to have dreams. I still have them every now and then, of flying. It's because the Most High let you know you used to fly, but I took that power away from you.
You know, I had a dream that I was going up on the top of something, and I always went up on the top of the sign thing. All of a sudden, I fell. And it felt so real when I fell.
Because the Most High was letting you know you're falling from grace.
The wind blew me like a whole other way. Like I thought I was supposed to fall straight down, but I was supposed to fall straight down and fell like a whole other way. And I woke up like, oh my God, that felt so real. I really thought I
It is real.
Wake up like, oh shit, I really thought I was about to fucking die just
It's
now.
because your spirit has left your body.
Flying, your spirit been
Your
flying
spirit
out.
went into the spiritual world when you sleep. That's why I say sleep is a cousin of death. Well, every time you go to sleep, your spirit goes up. When you wake up, your spirit came back down. Now, if you did something wrong in the spiritual world, guess what? The Most High gonna backhand you and you're gonna fall from grace. So when you wake up, you see the ground, you wake up right before you hit the ground because you landed right back in your body. And when you wake up, wait, I didn't even go nowhere. That shit was real.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's
But
this.
I had a dream one time that I was supposed to wake up, and I tried to wake up, and I couldn't get up.
Yep.
And then I told my aunt,
Yep.
and she was like, "Ain't nothing, don't run your back." And then somebody was like, "The devil's raping me." I'm like, "Oh my god."
Yeah.
He didn't use no condom.
Oh shit.
You know they be trying to be funny, so.
That was funny. Yeah, for real. That's a big out of joke.
Yeah.
Let me read this. This is Deuteronomy 28:48. Therefore, thou shalt serve thy enemies,
Not thy friends.
which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger, and in thirst, and nakedness, and in the want of all things. He shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
Shall put a
Well,
yoke
it's
of
the
iron
same
upon
thing
thy neck.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean,
This
I
is-
don't think there would be a problem
No,
with
this is-
females going without clothes nowadays.
This is
No, it's not.
no. What I read was prophecy of what happened to him. That's the prophecy of what
But
happened
it's
to him.
going backwards, though. It's almost all
No, it's
going
gonna
back.
happen to them. We're not gonna understand. The so-called white man is gonna see it.
No,
Yeah.
no, no.
But
You're
this
coming
is
into the knowledge of
this.
the truth.
This is the punishment. This was our punishment.
So they got a punishment coming too,
Yeah.
basically.
Double up. And let me read this last
So
one.
is we gonna be the slaves of them? That wouldn't be
No,
right.
actually, we're going to be their masters. They're going to be our
It's gonna be our
slaves.
slaves.
All nations are going to be our slaves.
Y'all don't have like a schooling that y'all do?
Schooling.
Like, I don't know, like how did
Like
y'all get
teach?
together? How did y'all get
The
together?
spirit.
Yeah, we found said we.
You need to get involved into this.
What happened?
This is
All right, what happened is the Most High told me to go out on the highways and the byways once I was fed. The Most High led this brother to me. We spoke for hours, just like we're doing right now. We spoke for hours in the hood, but now out here in the highway, here in the hood, we speaking. He led me to this brother. Then when we came down, we met that brother. And he knew.
He already knew.
So we didn't have to teach him anything too much, because he knew.
He's quiet.
Yeah, but he has a lot of knowledge and a slick tongue. That's why we have him behind the camera, because he'll speak low, but it's slick.
Man,
So
man,
if
he
he
said
says
funny as
something,
hell.
we may not catch it right now, but as soon as I knew you said that slick shit. I knew you said that slick
That's a
shit.
good
So
combination.
y'all just decided to come downtown.
Most High
The
got us
Most
doing
High
this.
told us to do it.
That's beautiful.
Most High chose us to do this.
And it's a
That's
commandment.
amazing. And 3 black men, 4 black men. That's cool. That's
It's a commandment.
combination.
It's a commandment. We're commanded to come out. Yahweh Shai, who the world even called Jesus Christ, he commanded us to come out on the highways and the hedges and the byways to teach the children of Israel their transgressions and their sins. That is our job. And he states it whether they hear or whether they forbear. So all those that don't believe, you can walk the hell away. All those that believe, continue to stay. Now, what happens is when we tell people to walk away, they don't want to walk away. Instead, they want us to get belligerent. Well, we get carnal with your ass too.
Yeah.
We'll curse your ass the
Yeah.
fuck out too.
Yeah, we ain't believe in no damn Jesus. We ain't.
How you gotta curse with
We
the
curse
Bible?
you.
You cursing without it, so what's the
Exactly.
difference?
What's the difference?
You know what I'm saying?
People wear earrings to church that says "trust no bitch."
Come on
The
now.
lady had that on Facebook. They're like, "Not even God."
This is Revelations 13:9.
Huh.
If a man have an ear, let him hear, which means understand. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience of the faith of the saints. And the saints are the Israelites.
Huh.
Let me read that one for you too. But so he said, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. So
The people that led us in captivity was who? So-called Africans, the so-called Arabs, and the so-called white people.